Hey, what's up, guys? Just chilling in my Sienna, old girl. I've had her for a little while now, so I think it's about time to do a long-term kind of report on it. Just talk about what I like about it and how it's worked out. Had a chance to do some trips in it, and just had it set up in the backyard today, messing around with some stuff, checking out some new lighting, and thought, well, I'll tell you how it's been going. Let's check it out. So I'm gonna get up here. I've got my REI Kingdom free cot in here, and I've got some of the curtains up. I knew I was gonna be messing around in here today, so on the side where the sun was, I put the curtains up. I'll have to cut down the heat. But overall, this Sienna is performing amazingly. Couldn't be happier with the choice. Go ahead and turn her off here for a minute. I've put about maybe 8,000 miles on it, roughly. 3,500 of that in Colorado. But I've got the cot in here, it's sitting up. So I basically looked at all the different kinds of campers, you know, and watched a lot of the vanners and RV life people on the internet, and I ended up deciding on this. This is a 2010 Toyota Sienna XLE. It has DVD package. I don't think it's the limited, but it has the nice wheels, the JBL stereo, which I'm really liking. It's a great stereo, great subwoofer, great overall sound. And that's something I want to stress is I didn't want to have two cars right now, or a camper and a car. I kind of wanted to have them both combined, save some cash for some travels, and have a good daily driver. And that's what this is. I like a lot of the other minivans. I sold cars for quite a few years and sold almost all of them through a couple of chain dealerships. But I remember in 2010 I used to go out to get one of these for a customer and move it, and I would get in it and drive it over to the front of the dealership, and I would think, man, these are nice. If only I needed a minivan. And at that time I was into sports cars and stuff like that. So I always liked them, and I knew they were kind of the best one. I like the Hondas, and the Nissans are good, and you've always got Chrysler minivans out there too. So there's a lot of minivans to choose from, but for me, the Sienna was the one. Old girl has the quality of the Toyota brand. This was the last year of this body style, and it had the fewest problems per mile. The others weren't too bad. I prefer to buy a little bit into the model years and all that. You know, if something comes out and it's hot, I'll get the first model year, I don't care. But when you're buying a used car, you can do that. So I did that. And so anyways, it's got that great Toyota quality, which also comes through in the total cost of ownership. I did have to put a steering rack in this thing, but for buying a 120,000 mile 7-year-old car, that's all I've had to do to it. Of course, I've given it a couple of oil changes. I just run synthetic in it, as you should if you're gonna mile something out like I plan to with old girl on some of these trips. This one was super clean. It has the power doors, which is an awesome feature if you should need it. I don't have them on, obviously, but the hatch is power also. She's getting 16 to 18 miles to the gallon. I think when I went to Colorado, overall was just under 16, and I had her loaded down with a bunch of stuff. Just to give you an idea of the room, this REI cot is, I think it's 82 inches by 31.5 wide. Sits up a foot or so, I'm not sure of that one. But it fits in here really good. There were a couple of the bigger cots that I liked, but they were just too long. I think the van is 85, 86 maybe, depending on how you have your front seat set up. But plenty of room under here. I stash all my stuff under here, as you know if you've watched some of my other videos. So anyways, more about the Toyota part of it. Toyota's platform, and you know this if you've driven Toyotas versus a Honda or a Nissan or a Mitsubishi or any of the other Japanese, Asian kind of cars. It has a softer ride, softer platform, and it's that way with the Lexus versus the Infiniti and the Acura also. And I prefer that softer ride now, especially with these road trips. Like I said, I drove this thing 3,400 miles on my Colorado trip, and it takes, it's 900 miles to Denver from here. And the very last day I got a little numb on the back of my leg coming back, and I did the whole trip at once. It took, I can't remember, 12 hours, something like that. So that whole time I never got fatigue, I never felt tired. My butt was never sore. And that's amazing. And it's the suspension, the big sidewall tires. That Toyota suspension setup is the key. And that's one of the main reasons I chose this. And then check out these seats. They're super comfy. I'm not a big person, so it's like a lazy boy to me. And this driver's seat barely has a little wear on it. Whoever had it took really good care of it. It's got the fold down armrests and the armrests on the doors. Absolutely awesome. Stuff like this all over the place. Compartments. Cup holders everywhere. JBL system, like I said. Center channel. I don't even know where all the speakers are. Got a real nice sub in the back. This thing is like a Lexus camper. A little baby Lexus camper is what it is. And I've left it to where it'll go all the way back to stock. Or you can put it in camper mode or hauling mode or whatever you want to call it. Got a few of the curtains up today. Those worked out really well too. I've got a video on curtains. It's in one of them. So yeah, she's got 128.3, so almost 8,000 miles, I guess. The insurance is reasonable, as with most minivans. Like I say, a ton of storage. There's storage all over this thing. 2 glove boxes. I mean, it's got the 3.5 V6. I don't drive old girl rough. You can't throw her around town or muscle around town like you could in a sports car or something like that. But if you need to go on the highway and pass some trucks, she will get down. She jams. Got the 3.5. It's probably 250 horsepower, it feels like. But it'll run. But I just take it easy around town. So I'm liking the minivan thing. Cost, gas mileage. I don't need a full-time camper. Got the power doors down here. Got some random floor mats in there, grandpa style. Whoops, forgot I had my curtains up. I've got a little Velcro on them, but this one had the hitch, which I really liked. And then the crossbars. Oh yeah, power hatch. Put that curtain just right, it'll open with the curtain on there and won't tear it down. So I'm loving the Toyota. The driving is just the best part. It's my daily driver. I drive 20,000 miles a year, not counting traveling. So I needed something solid. When you say lasting a long time for a car, that means I don't have to spend large amounts of money on it very often. Specifically, sorry if I'm a little shaky there. specifically transmission, computer, that kind of stuff, Toyota's known for making a quality automobile, so I hope she ends up working out. I'm getting ready to do tires. She needs those, so. Here's another thing that's nice is this three-way climate. You can do left, let's see here, you can do automatic, and then you've got left, rear, and sync, so you can do left and right up here, and then the rear, all three separate, and it's got the controls for that back here. So I let it run sometimes, maybe cool off before a night if it's kind of warm, or warm up if it's kind of chilly. Some mosquitoes in here. It's the end of summer and they're making one last run. So I'm loving the Sienna. I couldn't be happier. Can't wait to do some more setup on it, do some lighting, and then next year maybe some air conditioning. But I'm just loving the style. It looks good. It's got this faux wood, leather everywhere. It's so comfortable to drive. Also in wind and rain and all that, it just feels super solid. It's a great car for traveling, for road trips. I had it loaded up pretty good in Colorado. It wasn't maxed out by any means. Handled just fine. Even on that stretch of 70 there by the ski ramps where it's like a roller coaster. That was a little scary, but old girl still did fine. So thanks for watching, guys. I like to talk about this stuff. This is really serving me well as this form of camping here as I try to travel a little bit more. I'm lucky I have a good business now where we have a couple of slowdowns where we can get away for a week, and so we all take advantage of that. But old girl working out great for it. Guys, subscribe, like the channel, appreciate it. Until then, I'm just going to be dreaming of a beach bar, sitting there drinking a few beers, watching some waves. I'm thinking I may take old girl to Florida this fall. Excuse me, this winter on our little winter hiatus around Christmas. We'll see what happens. But I could really go for some beach camping in my van. Guys, have a great day. Thanks for commenting and everything. Van life.